wasn't supposed to rain. Call the game.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. Here as we get ready for the second game of this doubleheader on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 between the Martinsburg Bulldogs and the Meyersdale Raiders. Here from P.O. Faulkner, it's Dylan Bishop and Nick Verzolini with you on the call. Alec Epperson back at the studio. Kyler High, our cameraman this afternoon. And we're going to go right into it. Top of the first. We'll get you the starting lineups and starting batteries here as we can. Top of the first, brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields & Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. It's Carter Shirk leading off for Meyersdale, and he will take strike one from Bradley Loper, who makes the start in game two here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Loper, a lefty, pitched a few times already this season. Give you the numbers here in just a moment, but
next pitch comes in, strike two, 0-2 count.
He's worked 6 innings in 3 games. This is his first start of the season for the Bulldogs. Doesn't have a decision yet on the year.
And that 0-2 is lined foul over towards the Meyersdale dugout.
3.5 ERA. For Loper so far. And he struck out 11 batters.
Another 0-2 from Loper will be hit softly over towards the Meyersdale dugout this time. Fouled off again. Defense behind Loper. Zarnecki, Jameer Brown, Grant Henderson, and Armolt from third base to first. R.J. Brown, Christian Alter, and Malachi Green from left field to right field. The 0-2 comes in low and inside. Breaking ball broke too far in. Behind the plate again is Braden Fox with Loper on the mound. Starting battery brought to you by Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Strike three called. Carter sure goes down on a pitch that looked very inside, but gets the call.
Yeah, and Sherg was a huge part of the lineup the first time, or in this first game. Had some big hits for Meyersdale, so good sign there from Loper to get that first strikeout.
First pitch to Cole Yoder is a ball. Sherg playing center field in that leadoff spot, and it's Cole Yoder playing second base, as he was before. Next pitch fouled 0-2. Rest of the lineup for Meyersdale. Pitcher Aiden Thomas batting third. Ryan Seckler clean up at third base. Dylan Teets batting fifth at first base. Matt Hainsworth batting sixth at catcher. Carter Voigt batting seventh at shortstop. Nick Kimball, right fielder, batting eighth, as Yoder fouls this one off of himself. And then rounding things out is Lucas Brown in left field. Get you Martinsburg's lineup, the bottom of the inning. Starting lineups brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. And here's another called strike three on the outside part of the plate. 2 up, 2 down on strikes for Meyersdale.
Yeah, so far the Bulldog pitchers have been just cruising out there on the mound. And in game one, Christian Alter goes the complete game, 12 strikeouts.
First pitch ground ball. 2 hops over to Jameer Brown, who throws on the first easy. Out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Goes Meyersdale. Just like that. Go to the bottom of the first after the 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Martinsburg will face Aiden Thomas for Meyersdale in this one. Thomas makes the start for Meyersdale against a lineup that looks like this for the Bulldogs. Christian Alter leads off in center field for Game 2. Grant Henderson stays in the 2-hole at second base. Jameer Brown hitting third at shortstop. Malachi Green batting cleanup in right field. Silas Zarnecki fifth at third base. Braden Armalt moves to first base in the 6th spot. Bradley Loper hitting 7th as the pitcher. Carson Tomlinson DHing, batting 8th. R.J. Brown batting 9th in left field. Defense for Meyersdale goes like this. It's Seckler at third, Voigt at shortstop, Yoder at second, Teets at first, and then Lucas Brown, Carter Scherg, Nick Kimball from left to right in the outfield. And your battery is Aiden Thomas, and behind the plate, Matt Hainsworth.
So, do have some scores from some EPAC softball to update. John Jefferson leading Hedgesville 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Martinsburg actually holds a lead over Hampshire right now, 4-2 in EPAC softball as well.
You don't even have to look at your phone for that one, Nick. You can look right to your right.
I was trying to tell the inning.
Yeah, you do have to move your head a little bit for what inning it is.
And that's too much work for me today, Dylan. Jefferson baseball just started against Broadford and Christian Academy as well. So what's going on today? Yesterday we saw Morgantown beat Washington 7-2. Broadfording actually beat Musselman. I'm not sure if that was baseball or softball, though. But
Christian Alter will step in. Martinsburg in the white uniforms now. First pitch by Alter is grounded foul over to the third base side.
Wow, they went all out. I didn't even realize. Yeah, you're right. I guess both teams did. Or no, Meyersdale didn't change uniforms.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Makes sense for them. They don't really have much of a place to change at.
Yeah. But
our first pitch was brought to you by Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call at 304-263-4343. The 0-1 is taken by Alter low and outside for a ball.
Yeah, it was Musselman baseball losing to Broadfording yesterday, so don't know what really happened there. That's definitely not expected.
No, for sure not. 1-1. Outside again. Martinsburg's whites with the orange lettering and numbering. Thin black stripe down the side of the pants. White hats, black bills when they're out in the field. 2-1 catches the zone for strike 2. So Alter steps back in, waiting the pitch from Thomas, who winds and fires. And this is going to be another foul ball out of play over to the right field side.
To be fair to Brownfording, they are a little bit more competitive in baseball typically than, I guess you would say, like basketball or something like that. But still, I mean, small private school, usually you would expect a win there for Musselman, so a tough one for the Applemen yesterday.
2-2. It's going to be hit in the air to left field, backing up a few steps for it, and coming underneath of it for the catch is Lucas Brown for the first out.
Up next for the
It's going to bring up Grant Henderson,
number 4,
second baseman.
Grant Henderson.
Henderson had himself RBI single in the first game in the 5th inning. Walked and struck out in his other 2 at-bats. He's going to take the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Henderson did have a big hit in that.
Oh, it's going to run in the 0-1 and catch Grant Henderson in the shoulder blade, looked like. Hit by pitch is going to put him on.
Stepping up to the plate for the Dogs.
You see Jameer Brown here, who
Jameer Brown
just had a solid game last time around. Got a good hit in that one and came through to kind of start a little bit of a rally for Martinsburg. But, of course, it was Armalt with the home run that ultimately carried them to the victory, 4-2. If you're just now joining us and missed game 1.
First pitch from the stretch for Thomas is fouled away. Bottom of the first is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-250-3551. Visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. Brown in the batter's box waiting the 0-1. This is a fastball that stays way outside. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Henderson takes a small lead over at first. Thomas gives him a look over. Now the sets. Henderson takes an extra step out. Here's the pitch. This will be grounded towards shortstop, just past the glove of Voigt. Grant Henderson going to try to go first to third, and he will easily without the throw. They're going to throw it into second base. Good base running by Henderson to move from one corner to the other on the base hit from Jameer Brown.
Yeah, if Martinsburg can get some of these guys to really heat up, I mean, like we said before, the experience level for the Bulldogs comes at the top of the lineup. Malachi Green, though, who's hitting here, he's been, swinging a good bat for Martinsburg, 318 average entering today. So Jameer Brown's also out there at 318. Those two lead the team in batting average.
Runner goes, and it's going to be foul tipped away by Green for a hit and run. Brown will go back to first. Henderson takes his lead off of third. Green was able to draw a walk in one at bat in game 1. Runner goes again. No hit and run attempt this time. No throw down. Catcher's indifference.
Yeah, I think you just couldn't read my handwriting, Dylan. He had a single.
Oh, okay.
Strikeout as well, so apologize for that.
Couldn't tell if that was a 1B or a BB.
Fair enough. And I think at that point in the game, you were probably dealing with all of our technical issues. So
Right. Ball bounces off the glove of the catcher as it comes in for a ball, and easily coming across the plate is going to be Grant Henderson.
yeah, so Martinsburg finds a way to get one across here, and not necessarily the way that you expected to come across, but it does. So
Jameer Brown moves up to third also. It's a 2-2 count. Runner on third, one out. Here for Malachi Green. Still has a chance to drive a run in. Thomas comes to the plate, and this is going to be a base hit right back up the middle, just under the glove of Thomas on the mound. Makes it 2-0 Bulldogs as Brown comes across the plate.
Next up at bat for the Dogs, number 10.
Quick start for Martinsburg already. Seckler was giving them problems on the mound, but they've been able to find contact against Thomas.
yeah, so far, game one, just 5 hits for Martinsburg. But here in game two, they only got 2 hits and a run scored. 2 runs scored because he had the wild pitch as well.
First pitch from Zarnecki is popped up right to the first baseman, Teets, for the second out.
Next up at bat for the Dogs, number 18, Braden.
And here comes the hero of game one, Braden Armalt, playing first base now instead of DHing. 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning off of Ryan Seckler. Gave Martinsburg a 2-run lead, and they were able to close out in the next half inning.
Yeah, it was a great hit, and obviously came at a huge time when Martinsburg needed something to get them a boost, and we were talking about maybe just get a hit here and drive in a run or 2 possibly, and they were able to do a lot more than that. Just a 3-run home run over that left field wall where you see a lot of the power come, and Armalt's going to get another hit here.
Here's some too. Lined it out to left field for a single.
Yeah, but typically here at P.O. Faulkner Park, you're going to see the home runs to that left field side. A lot of that due to, one, usually you're going to see a lot of right-handed hitters, but also just, that just seems to be where the ball travels well. Every once in a while, you'll see one crushed over that right field fence, and then if you really get into one, you can, of course, hit it to deep center, 370 down the center field. Also a pretty high wall out there in center as well.
Here comes Bradley Loper. Hainsworth sets up outside, and Thomas can't get it on the corner. Goes outside for ball 1. Loper pitching, hitting in the 7th spot versus the cleanup role that we usually see him in.
Yeah, he's been off to a little bit of a slow start at the plate, so they drop him down due to some hotter hitters being more toward the top. So obviously you want your top guys at the top of the lineup because they'll get the most at-bats usually. So
1-0, taken for a strike. It's been a wide strike zone so far on both ends of the plate.
Yeah, you're gonna, as long as it's even on both sides.
If it's consistent, then you can
it
learn
is
to
what
adapt.
It is, but
so far has been. 1-1 is going to be fouled away.
Martinsburg has adapted. They've gotten some runs across here already early on and seeing the ball pretty well out of Thomas's hand. So
1-2 count. Runners on first and second here for Loper. Martinsburg already out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Time called. Now quickly reset. Loper with a chance to give himself some extra insurance runs before he goes back onto the mound for his second inning of work. 1-2 from Thomas. It's going to come in inside. Evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, Loper so far entering this game, 4 hits for the Bulldogs. Puts them at a 160 average on the year, but maybe dropping him down a little bit will give him some opportunities to get some big hits. He did have a nice sacrifice bunt in that first game here today, which was meaningful. So any way you can contribute. Doesn't always have to be with hits.
2-2 breaking ball. Doesn't break inside enough. Runs the count full. 3-2. 2 outs. Runners will be going on the pitch. Carson Tomlinson on deck if Martinsburg can continue the inning. Thomas readies. Long look back at second and the pitch. It's another outside breaking ball. Ball 4 loads the bases.
Yeah, that's big there. Only his second walk of the year for Loper. Overall, just the 30th walk of the season for Martinsburg. We talked about it a few games ago. The strikeout number's not quite where you want them, obviously. It's 74 strikeouts here through 8 games for Martinsburg. They have shown a little bit of improvement because that number was about 10 a game just a few games ago, and they've already dropped that down a little bit. So that's good to see, and you definitely are going to see more offense as we'll have a courtesy runner here for the pitcher. I believe it's going to be Domenico, I believe.
Grounder over to shortstop. And
Excuse me, Spiker.
Yep. Get a force out at second base as Voigt throws on to Yoder. And Martinsburg leaves the bases loaded, but they do, before that, get 2 runs in. So after 1 inning, Bulldogs lead Meyersdale 2-0. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the second inning. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Strawberry season is here at Orr's Farm Market. Pick Your Own strawberries will be starting around May 13th, and you can make a reservation to come and pick, or buy some that are already picked. We're also offering a season pass this year, so get online at orrsfarmmarket.com to see the details. Visit our bakery counter today to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't miss our 2 new flavors of homemade strawberry donuts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, Orr's Farm Market. Happiness grows here.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Top of the second inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. Martinsburg leads Meyersdale in Game 2 of this doubleheader, 2-0 after 1 full inning of work. Saw RBI single for Malachi Green. Was able to drive in Jameer Brown after a wild pitch. Got in Grant Henderson. So now, Meyersdale comes back up to the plate, down by 2 with Ryan Seckler leading things off. First pitch from Loper's inside for ball 1. Be Seckler, Teets, and Hainsworth in this half inning. 1-0 catches the zone for strike 1. And Loper readies and fires again. Another ground ball over to shortstop. Jameer Brown gathers this one in, throws the first and gets the out. That's how the first inning ended for Meyersdale, and that's how the second inning starts. Dylan Teets, the first baseman, up next for Meyersdale. First pitch to him is out of the zone for a ball. Now Loper will ready and fire again. The southpaw comes in with a fastball up in the zone for ball 2.
Yeah, lefty versus lefty, and of course when Loper's not pitching, He tends to be over there in first base, so kind of first baseman versus first baseman here as well.
2-0. That one does get across for strike one. And 2-1 also across the zone, 2-2. Loper working his way back in.
Yeah, able to hit his spots here, and young catcher and Fox doing a good job behind the plate today.
2-2. That one, same pitch around the same location, but just can't catch the corner. Runs the count full 3-2.
A little bit surprised in some ways to see him catching here in Game 2 after catching Game 1, but I mean, that's kind of typical for Martinsburg. So
the 3-2 high pops out of the glove of Fox, but regardless, Teets goes down to first base on the walk.
Landon Sifford was kind of known for that sometimes, catching both games, so it's not unheard of. But it can be tough on you. Obviously, that's could be up to 14 innings if the game goes the whole way. So, which usually it does. So I mean that's a long day behind the plate.
First pitch to Meyersdale's catcher, Matt Hainsworth, is inside and low. Loper with a look over. Short lead for Teets, comes to the plate, and strike one. Hainsworth will watch that one go. Loper readies, and pickoff attempt. Teets is able to get back before Armalt laid down the tag.
But for Fox, he's been DH'd for in both games. So
another foul ball.
He's still doing the catching, but not hitting in these games. So a little bit less on you, but still, I mean, the catching is definitely the more difficult part, I guess you could say, than the hitting part.
That is what Martinsburg tends to do. They like to use their DH in the spot of Fox behind the plate. Curveball comes in, bouncing in front of Fox for ball 2. 2-2 count here with the runner on first and one out.
Yeah, I mean, they've been known to do that typically. Use all 10 guys if you can. You want your best 9 hitters in the lineup, but you also want your best fielders, and you're not always going to use your DH for your pitcher because usually your pitcher, especially at the high school levels, just tends to be good athletes and they can, hit. And not to say that Fox can't. He's only a sophomore, though, so he's learning, developing, and want to make sure you have your best 9 guys in the lineup that you can for both ends. So.
Coming to the plate now. Lined into right field past Henderson at second base. Opposite field single for Hainsworth. Is Meyersdale 2 runners on base here with 1 out.
Yeah, Meyersdale starting to threaten a little bit. Just 1 out here in the inning. Tough first game here for Vaught. He struck out in all of his plate appearances, so big situation. See if he can come through and possibly get Meyersdale on the board here.
And Loper gets a quick mound visit from Fox. The shortstop for Meyersdale will step in and taking a big cut and miss at the first pitch, his vote.
He just hasn't been seeing the ball well today, but also give credit to the Martinsburg pitching. There's another
0-1 comes across, strike 2. Loper quickly getting ahead of the number 7 hitter in the lineup here for Meyersdale. With a 2-run lead that he has, 2-0 Martinsburg, and the 0-2 will be fouled away.
Yeah, anytime you're pitching with the lead, obviously that gives you some more confidence out there on the mound, but 2-0, so still very much a competitive game here early on. Don't want to allow too much offense here from Meyersdale in this second inning.
Loper will take a step back over towards second base. Won't make a throw, but now he'll step back onto the rubber. And now he'll come to the plate. Breaking ball stays outside for ball one. Zarnecki holds close at third. Brown holding the runner at second. And fastball outside and high gets past the glove of Fox. Wild pitch lets the runners advance to second and third. A double play possibility, the traditional way at least, is out of the question. It's a 2-2 count now.
Yeah, now you got two runners in scoring position, so huge opportunity here.
2-2. Caught on the corner, strike three, inside. Vogt goes down, looking. Third strikeout for Loper. That's how all three have come so far. No swinging third strikes yet from Meyersdale. Brings up Nick Kimball here with now 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Dylan, maybe a little bit of an expanded zone today.
Foul ball on the first pitch here.
So possibly giving some difficulties to Meyersdale. Martinsburg probably a little bit more familiar with it. So
all you can really do is come back up the second time around knowing that's the case. 0-1 into the dirt. Bounced in front of Fox. He keeps it in front of him. Keeps runners at bay. 1-1 count.
And for the most part, too, it seems like Loper's strikes have been in some difficult spots to get hits. So
Loper comes to the plate. This one's hit out in the right center field. It's going to drop down for a hit. 1 run will score. Second runner is going to be sent home. Play at the plate. Not even close to being in time. Hainsworth gets thrown out easily. Nice throw by Green to get it in there. And Meyersdale will end the inning with the lead cut in half at the very least. They get 1 run back, make it 2-1 Martinsburg. Take a 60-second break. We'll come back with the bottom of the second. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Strawberry season is here at Orr's Farm Market. Pick Your Own strawberries will be starting around May 13th, and you can make a reservation to come and pick, or buy some that are already picked. We're also offering a season pass this year, so get online at orrsfarmmarket.com to see the details. Visit our bakery counter today to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't miss our 2 new flavors of homemade strawberry donuts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, Orr's Farm Market. Happiness grows here.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Bottom of the second inning, brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Martinsburg still leads Meyersdale here, 2-1 in the bottom of the second. Dylan Bishop and Nick Verzolini with you on the call. Alec Epperson back at the studio. Kyler High running the cameras.
Leading off for the Bulldogs, number 11, R.J. Brown.
The Bulldogs will have up 9-1-2 in the order after 8 batters got up in the bottom of the first against Aiden Thomas. They were able to get 3 hits on him and drive in 2 runs. Took 2 walks as well. R.J. Brown will cut through the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Brown did a good job in that first game, getting on base, went, I believe, 1 for 2, so found his way on. Was able to score a run as well, and he's going to be an important part of this team. And so they try to find success. He's hitting in that 9 spot, which we always know, kind of that second lead off. And if you get on, with a guy like Brown, he's got great speed. So definitely a weapon for this Bulldog team.
Took the next pitch. It's 1-1. And that 1-1 pitch will come in low and outside. Puts Brown ahead in the count. Thomas, wind up, and the pitch will come in for strike 2. 2-2 now. Christian Alter on deck. And before the pitcher can come to the plate again, Brown calls timeout. Alter went 0 for 3 in game 1 and started out this one with a fly out. He sits on deck. RJ Brown here with this 2-2 pitch. He will get a bat on it, but it goes foul down the right field line. Brown in left field here for game 2 after playing center in game 1. Here's a pitch from Thomas. Fastball high and outside. 3-2. Now Thomas working back again. He will wind, and the payoff pitch. Going to be hit by Brown just past the glove of Seckler at third base in left field and past the glove of Lucas Brown as he tried to go down and get it. Brown's going to have 2 bases. He's going to try for 3. Here's the cutoff throw. Not in time. R.J. Brown starts off the bottom of the second in great fashion. Called a single and a 2-base error. And Martinsburg's got a runner on third to lead off the inning.
Yeah, great hitting, though, for Brown to hit the ball hard on the ground. And then, like you said, Dylan, just a misplay out there in left field. So Meyersdale kind of hurting themselves a little bit more from what would have just been, kind of a routine single into now a runner on third. And Christian Alter at the plate should be able to drive one in.
And it pops off the glove of Vogt over at shortstop. R.J. Brown likely would have scored regardless, but Alter gets on base.
Yeah, that ball was
Martinsburg up 3-1.
Hit deep into the hole, so you feel like with Brown's speed and probably a tough play going back shoulder there for the shortstop, or trying to backhand it, I should say, from the shortstop. That you're probably going to be able to score that run either way. Maybe get the out at first with a good throw. Alter's pretty quick, so it would have been a close play.
Hit.
I think it's fair to call it a hit, as it did. It was very similar to kind of that Jameer Brown play we had in that first game from Meyersdale, where they hit it hard on the ground. It's probably going to be ruled a hit in the scorebook as well. So I'd say it's fair enough to rule it one. Tough play at this level, I guess you could say.
So Grant Henderson comes up, scores around the bunt. Ball pops away from the catcher. Christian Alter is going to run down and get to second base. Wait, Hainsworth's throw not in time. So we'll see if Henderson still squares around to try to get him over to third.
Yeah, Martinsburg gave it a hit, so we'll follow suit.
"1-0. And that's going to be inside and off of the catcher. Came close to hitting Henderson, who did get hit by a pitch in the first.
Yeah, honestly, I thought for a
game.
second it did hit him. But
first matchup, or first inning, I should say. And he eventually came around and scored on a wild pitch. Here's the next pitch from Thomas. This is going to bounce for another ball. Alter takes his lead off his second. Martinsburg back to a 2-run lead now. Evened up with Meyersdale, 1 run apiece in the second inning so far. Next pitch comes in low. Run the count 3-1.
Yeah, this is a great situation for Martinsburg if Henderson's able to get on. You're going to have Jameer Brown coming to the plate.
And this is going to be grounded over to short. It's a slow roller, though. Gets the vote, and he's going to throw it over to first for the out. It moves Alter over to third base.
Up at bat for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, one thing that Martinsburg has avoided at times, especially in this game, I guess you could say, is they're getting productive outs, so they're moving runners over, and they've been doing a little bit of a better job of that since early in the year when the strikeouts were just piling up, especially after that Hedgesville game where you had 15 of them. Still have had your fair share, but getting more productive outs has definitely been a key, I think, to some of the recent success.
Pitch gets away again. Christian Alter is going to step on home easily. Martinsburg takes a 4-1 lead.
But in this game, and really at times during the first game, Meyersdale continues to just kind of hurt themselves with pass balls or wild pitches and walks and hit by pitches, leading to a lot of Martinsburg offense in those first 2 games. So obviously, ultimately, Armalt hits the home run, but other than that, it was a lot of Martinsburg just kind of failing really to take advantage of Meyersdale's opportunities that they gave them.
1-0 curveball gets across for Thomas. 1-1 count here with now 1 out. Martinsburg leading 4-1. Wind up and the pitch. Brown, big swing. Can't get anything on it. Strike 2. Time called behind the plate. I think catcher might have had to make an equipment adjustment there real quick. Now here comes the 1-2. This will be on a line. One hop off the glove of the third baseman. Seckler, throw over to first is wide of the bag. Jameer Brown going to go for second base and slide in. So Martinsburg in business again.
For the Bulldogs, number 20.
Yeah, another misplay there from Meyersdale. Did a good job of getting in front of the ball, but then a poor throw obviously allows Jameer to move up to second. Not sure if he maybe was going to be able to beat it out anyway, but definitely the throw allowing him to move up to second base. And now, again, Green has consistently shown an ability to get on base and get some hits for the Bulldogs early in the season. So, great opportunity to get some more runs up on the board.
Already has an RBI single. Here's strike 1 on the outside corner.
Yeah, that pitch from Thomas had a lot of movement on it. Definitely a tough one to do anything with, so Green lays off.
Thomas looks back at Brown. Now comes to the plate. It's going to be hit the other way to third base. Seckler holds Brown, makes the throw over. Brown runs over anyway. And after the out at first base, Jameer Brown is at third.
Silence! Zarnicki!
Yeah, the entire Meyersdale team seemed to think that was the third out, but it was not the case. So
they really wish it was the third out, I guess, isn't it? It's been 2 long innings.
It's been a long inning, and you've had your fair share of misplayed balls and errors that it probably could have been the third out.
Yeah,
at this point
it feels like it should have been probably for them out there,
but not the case. So, see if Zarnicki can drive in at least one more run here.
Yep, he's got Brown 90 feet away. Strike 1 comes in. Zarnicki popped out to first base in the first inning. Thomas long look in. Now he fires. In the dirt. Bounces in front of Hainsworth for ball one. Brown gets his lead from third, right next to Coach Byler in third base coach's box, and this is going to be hit on a line in the right field, right into the glove of Kimball to end the inning. But again, Martinsburg gets 2 runs across, just like they did in the first inning. They now lead 4-1 going into the third. We'll take a 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Top of the third inning brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. 4-1 lead right now for Martinsburg. 2 runs they got in at the bottom of the second give extra insurance to Bradley Loper out on the mound for his third inning of work through 2 innings. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 walk. He's got himself 3 strikeouts.
He's been good so far. So definitely have liked what we've seen from Loper leading the way out there on the mound. And bottom of the order again, it really struggled for Meyersdale in that first game. So see if Loper can continue the success that Martinsburg's had against this bottom of the order so far.
It's Lucas Brown, the 9-hitter. Takes the first pitch high for ball 1.
Well, I guess in this scenario you're at the 9, so 9-1-2. But still, I mean, 9 guy due up.
And here's a swing and a miss at the 1-0 pitch.
And Brown did have a hit in that first game, so had a little bit more success there.
Next pitch comes in low. Ball 2. Looks like Fox got hit in his exposed finger, perhaps, on his glove. Saw him shaking it off a little bit. 2-1 pitch from Loper is outside for ball 3. Now Loper comes to the plate again, 3-1. It's a chopper over to third. Zarnecki throw on the first is in plenty of time for the out.
Next step, bat for Meyersdale, number 5, Carter Shern.
Carter Shirk comes back up for his second at-bat, struck out looking in the top of the first. Loper's first pitch on the corner for strike 1. And Loper winds and fires again. Off-speed pitch this time. Looked at again for strike 2. Now Loper looks in at Fox, gets a sign, and get time called by the batter. It's a quick time. Sure, steps right back into the box. Loper works fast this time, and it's a breaking ball that bounces away from Fox for the first ball. Loper back on the rubber. They'll wind, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First swinging strikeout for Loper. Sends down Scherg for the second time today. Gives us 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Yeah, I mean, Scherg was such a big threat to the lineup in that first game that Martinsburg intentionally walked him. So definitely impressive here that Loper's been able to take care of business against him. A good thing to see from a young pitcher.
Cole Yoder back in. Takes 2 straight balls. It's 2-0.
And again, like Saturdays, you're going to see usually your 4th or 5th guy that doesn't necessarily get a ton of innings, but maybe more of a relief guy during the games that they do get their majority of their innings. So
Yoder lined the next pitch into the net.
It's always
foul
important
ball
to pitch well in those situations. Jameer Brown was kind of a few years ago just like the Saturday guy that would dominate on Saturdays. So
2-1 from Loper. It's another foul ball over towards the softball fields. Almost lands on the softball field.
That would have been pretty impressive.
Two. Loper readies and comes. And it's another foul ball. Yoder keeping himself alive. See some action in the Meyersdale bullpen. Looks like it's Carter Vogt, shortstop, getting ready to potentially come in for Thomas at some point. Ball 3 comes in outside. Full count now to Yoder. Pitch from Loper. It's going to be popped up. Shallow center field. Alter calls off the shortstop and second baseman. Makes the play. And it's a 1-2-3 inning again for Loper as he's gotten in 2 of his 3 innings of work. So that'll take us to the bottom of the third. Martinsburg still leading 4-1 after the 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
We move to the bottom of the third, brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. You can call them at 304-263-0809 for a quote today or visit fmiwv.com. Martinsburg 4-1 over Meyersdale here in Game 2, the doubleheader. Martinsburg won the first game of 4-2 after a 3-run home run by a man that's about to come to the plate, Braden Armalt. Bottom 6 3-run shot was all Martinsburg needed to get it done, with Christian Alter going with a complete game and 12 strikeouts. Now they sit here up 4-1 in the third inning.
He's Mr. Brightside, and he's up to bat number 18, Braden Armo.
It'll be Armo, Loper, and Tomlinson for the Bulldogs. He's going to hit the first pitch very softly to the pitcher. Thomas is going to throw over and make the first out. G1-3 goes down Armo, and that'll bring up Bradley Loper. Loper's going to take the first pitch low for a ball. It's been a lot of work up on the mound for Meyersdale so far. They've already changed pitchers. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance, located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 303 in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. It is indeed Carter Vogt, who was the shortstop. He's going to make his second pitch, the 0-1 outside for a ball. Looks like just a straight swap between him and Thomas. Thomas going out to shortstop.
Yeah, Thomas went 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts for him, so see if Vogt can kind of calm things down a little bit.
2-1 is a strike. Check swing from Loper, but may have caught the zone regardless.
Thomas also threw 47 pitches, 30 of them were strikes.
Two outside for ball 3.
I believe actually Thomas down there at third and then Seckler over at short now. Looks like, according to Game Changer. And I believe that is a 12 down there at third.
So full count to Loper for Vogt, second batter face. This is hit almost between third and short, but it's such a slow roller that it's just brought in by Thomas, and he has no play.
For the Bulldogs, number 8,
Perfectly hit infield single for Loper.
Yeah, it worked out. Kind of a weird one to get, but it works.
Right off the end of the bat, if you want to call it. Jammed him. Brings up Carson Tomlinson. Grounded out to short first time around. He's going to swing and miss at the first one. Oh, 0-1 comes in for strike 2. Inside part of the plate. And here's one that gets away. Way behind Tomlinson. It's going to let our courtesy runner move up. Loper, the pitcher, got on base. That's Ryan Spiker again.
And sometimes, too, I mean, Meyersdale, a little bit of struggles here in the second game. If you don't get those deep outings out there on the mound, it's a Saturday, depending on how many games you've played that week, you might start to run out of some pitching. So, see if Meyersdale can get some good innings here and really keep it close, or if maybe pitching becomes a little bit of a problem for them as the game goes on. Typically, that's maybe more of a thing in like Legion, but it can be a thing at the high school level too, for sure. So.
Here's one hit on the ground again to shortstop. Thomas fires it over and gets the out. So 2 at-bats and 2 ground outs short for Tomlinson.
Bat for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's Scheckler over there at short. Thomas is at third, 17.
Oh, you're right. There you go.
But either way, good play from the shortstop, and that was the only defensive change that we had during that pitching change. So
there you go. So Thomas moves to third. Scheckler from third to short. So R.J. Brown back up for the second time. Takes a strike. He singled his first time up, and he was able to come around and score. Next pitch from Vogt. And it's a check swing through the zone for Brown for strike 2. Vogt trying to get out of this jam with a runner on third now.
Yeah, that one definitely fooled him.
Yep.
So
I think he realized too late that it was coming in high, and he couldn't hold back on the swing. So 4-1 Martinsburg when this 0-2 comes in. Jams Brown, he hits it foul.
It's a tough pitch to deal with as well. Really on the inside part of the plate. Definitely need to protect as well with 0-2 count, so see how they work him here. Maybe they come outside this time after kind of consistently working high and inside.
Next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Vogt able to strand the runner on third. Martinsburg gets 1 hit in the third before they go down. Leave the runner on. It's still 4-1 Bulldogs, though, so we go to the 4th inning. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We'll be back in 60.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Top of the 4th, brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Bradley Loper coming back on the mound through 3 innings of work. He's given up just 1 run on 2 hits and a walk and 4 strikeouts. He's had 2 3-0-3 down innings out of his 3 that he's had so far. Gave up a run in the other. But now, Aiden Thomas comes up to the plate. Grounded out to short first time around. He's going to hit the first pitch foul over towards the first base side.
Yeah, so Meyersdale definitely still in this game after that last inning. Able to keep Martinsburg scoreless.
Next pitch is low, 1-1.
So, only a 3-run game at this point, and if you can get some good innings out on the mound, maybe you can get to Loper here eventually.
This is high and outside for ball 2.
But similar to what we saw in that first game from Christian Alter, doesn't feel like a whole lot of pitches, I should say, for Loper, and he's only thrown.
Here's another grounder to short. Brown scoops it up and gets the out.
He's at 50, so he's been a little bit less efficient. He won't be heading into the 7th of, 80 pitches we were at for Christian Alter.
Number 17.
Yeah, he does have a walk that he's given up, 4 strikeouts.
It's kind of crazy for Alter, too. I mean, to have 12 strikeouts and only throw, I think 85 pitches.
Yeah, that's impressive.
But
first pitch to Seckler is outside for ball 1.
Update on some of the baseball, softball scores. Jefferson leads Broadfording 1-0. Hampshire now leading Martinsburg softball 14-7. Jefferson softball leads Hedgesville 10-5.
The 1-0 is going to be hit over the head of Grant Henderson, the second base, into right center field. Big turn at first base by Seckler, but he's going to go back and settle for a single here with 1 out.
Next up at bat number 26, Dylan Teets.
Brings up Dylan Teets, who drew a walk and was eventually the one run that Meyersdale has so far.
Jefferson's already in the bottom of the 5th of that 1-0 game.
First pitch to Teets is high.
Surf Guerra with an RBI in that one. Just 4 hits for the Cougars. Broadfording appears to be definitely a quality team, so maybe not initially. You look at that Martinsburg or Musselman loss and you think, wow, that's kind of surprising, but maybe not as surprising this year. So,
strike 1 comes in. Teach watches that one on the inside part. Loper, pickoff attempt over at first. Nothing doing there. Seckler gets his lead back. It's a small one. Here comes Loper. Fastball is low and away.
It appears Hedgesville Musselman softball already playing their second game of the year. They're about ready to get started as well today. So they just started, I guess, 15 minutes ago.
Loper delivers. High again. It's 3-1. And here comes Kurt Zarnecki out to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, last time Coach Zarnecki came out, it led to a very good turnaround from Christian Alter as he was able to strike out the remainder of the Meyersdale batters and in the ball game. So, yeah, you hope here he can talk to Loper, figure out whatever's going on, and get it fixed. But for Meyersdale, it's definitely an opportunity to possibly get back into the game. They got a runner on first. Hitters count here at 3-1, so see if they can take advantage or if Martinsburg makes the right adjustments and gets out of the inning.
3-1. Swing and a miss. Teets goes through it. Brings count full with 1 out. Here's a pitch from Loper, and that's strike 3. Teets swings at the high fastball.
Next up at the plate, number 3, Matt
Meyersdale with 2 outs now in the inning. 5th strikeout of the day for Loper.
Yeah, just 3 hits so far. About halfway through the game. Actually, exactly halfway. So,
yeah, I guess when you go from 3 1/3 to 3 2/3, that's exactly where you pass over the halfway point. So
yeah, there's no official halfway, I suppose, but since you can't be 3 and
foul tip into the glove,
1 1/2 thirds.
Yeah. One count now. Hainsworth awaits the pitch. It's outside for ball 2. Hainsworth got himself a single, but was thrown out at the plate on the RBI single by Nick Kimball, trying to score a second run from second base.
Jefferson Hedgesville softball goes final, 10-5 win for the Cougars.
After another pickoff attempt by Loper to Sackler over first, he readies again to the plate. Grounder over to third. Takes 2 hops. Sarnecki brings it in, throws it to first, and that's the third out. So Meyersdale goes down quietly in the top of the fourth. Martinsburg still holds a 4-1 lead. And after this 60-second break, the Bulldogs have another chance to add on. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Bottom of the fourth on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by Floor Pools, and make every day better with a hot tub or a swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. Dylan Bishop and Nick Verzolini with you on the call. Kyler High behind the camera, and Alec Epperson back in the studio. Bulldogs currently with a 4-1 lead on Meyersdale as we see the Bulldogs come up to the plate.
Number 7.
It's top of the lineup for them.
Alter.
Yeah, great spot to be at. Alter, of course, Bulldog, probably the guy with the most experience in this lineup coming back for Martinsburg in terms of what he did at the plate last season, which was tremendous stuff.
Alter fouls off the first pitch.
I mean, outside of Jameer Brown.
Alter's going to hit this second pitch high up in the air. Diving play off the glove of the right fielder, Kimball, and in play, fair ball. Alter's going to slide in as the throw is a little off target with a double to lead off the fourth.
Like, I don't know if we really thought about it this way, but outside of Jameer Brown, Alter's the only other guy that really got significant playing time last year that comes back. So
yeah,
kind of crazy to think about. I mean, obviously these other guys were on the team. You know, a lot of them were used in different roles as like courtesy runners and stuff like that. But you know, we saw how good Grant Henderson was in the summer for post 14 and stuff like that. But in terms of high school and for Martinsburg, didn't see a whole lot of these guys. So kind of a crazy situation for the Bulldogs.
Strike one taken by Grant Henderson.
Like, you don't really realize, I guess, in the moment, just because you're familiar with the kids, you see them coming up through the program and stuff, how many guys they really did lose from last year's team.
Pitch from Vogt. High for ball one. One gets away from Vogt behind Henderson. Saw it slip out of his hand. Saw a pitch or two like that for Meyersdale up to this point.
Yeah, you're going to have this from time to time. How does Meyersdale respond here with runner on second?
Henderson takes the second pitch. Right on the inside corner for strike 2. Henderson was hit by a pitch in the first inning and grounded out to short in the second. Next pitch. Let's get it on the ground. Past the diving glove of Seckler at shortstop. And into left field for a single. And the cutoff throw is going to bounce away and let Henderson move up to second. Alter stays at third, though.
Yeah, I think if you knew that was the throw that they were going to have in, you probably would have sent Alter home, but considering the situation, probably didn't want to risk it. No reason to take the bat out of Jameer Brown's hands, so it definitely makes sense to keep him at third there, but the throw in was not the best, so you probably would have scored on it, unless, of course, they would have made a better throw.
Jameer Brown, first pitch swinging. This is going to be into left center field, and snagged, snow cone catch by Lucas Brown, preventing extra bases and multiple runs from coming in. So it just ends up a sacrifice fly for Jameer Brown. But Martinsburg does get that 5th run up on the board to make their lead 5-1.
Yeah, heck of a catch out there in left field. Luckily Martinsburg, I guess, didn't overestimate that one, and everybody went back, tagged up, made sure that they didn't just go based off of how hard that was hit or anything like that and get possibly double played or something like that. So
now that leaves Henderson at second base with 1 out and Malachi Green at the plate.
I definitely thought Jameer for a second was going to find a gap there and plate both base runners. But instead, now you get 2 on, and we'll see if Malachi Green can come through. That's
Pickoff attempt back to second base.
It's a pretty good move.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than you would have expected it to be.
Usually you don't see too many close ones at second, but that one was relatively close. So Henderson's got to be careful out there.
And Green pops this one up in the infield. Seckler's under it, makes the catch.
Yes, there should be 2 outs here in the inning.
Number 10, Silas Zarnecki.
Zarnecki is up 0 for 2 so far.
And him and Tomlinson, the only guys without hits so far, Dylan. So
yeah,
Martinsburg's been able to get a lot of production out of this lineup today, and that's good to see in the second game.
Zarnecki will look at the first pitch for strike 1. Vote ready. He gives a look back, 2 looks back at Henderson. Now he comes to the plate. Inside for a ball. Armolt awaits on deck if they can extend the inning. Vote will throw back, and it goes into center field. Yoder couldn't get his glove on it. That's the risk you take. It's a quick turn and throw, but it was just a little offline, so Grant Henderson moves to third.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. I mean, you have to hold the runners, obviously. At this level, you can't just let them take the biggest leads that they want. But also, throwing the ball back to second base, feels like a lot of the times, just more often than not, bad things happen in that situation.
And a balk is called on Vote, so Grant Henderson gets his way around the bases. That'll make it 6-1 Martinsburg.
Yes, it takes the pressure off of Zarnecki here with 2 outs.
And he's going to hit this one. One bounce over to second base. Yoder gets it into the glove, throws on to Teets at first for out number 3. Another 2-run inning for the Bulldogs, though. They put up 2 and extend the lead to 6-1. As we go to the 5th inning, that's our score after this 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Move to the top of the 5th here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Top of the 5th is brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships, proud to be the owners who just care more. We have a pitching change for the Bulldogs. The day is done for Bradley Loper after 4 innings. Gives up just 1 run on 3 hits and 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
32, Clayton Elliott.
We have another call to the bullpen brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance. It's Clayton Elliott, number 32 for Martinsburg. Looks like it's just a straight swap. Everybody else still in their same positions for Martinsburg. First pitch from Elliott is high for ball 1. Carter Vogt leading things off for Meyersdale, currently pitcher versus pitcher, although there is action in the Meyersdale bullpen. Next pitch is a ball as well. It's Cole Yoder, current second baseman, warming up on the first base side. 2-0 from Elliott, fastball, gets across for strike 1. Vogt 0 for 1, struck out looking in the second inning. And he'll wait the 2-1. He's going to hit this one softly on the ground over towards Jameer Brown. And it's an easy out number 1. G6-3 goes down Vogt. Brings up Nick Kimball, who has the lone RBI for the Raiders. Could have been 2 RBIs if Hainsworth was not thrown out at the plate. First pitch taken for a ball. And now the 1-0 comes in out of the zone as well. Clayton gets across again. So similar starts for Clayton Elliott. First 2 batters, falls behind 2-0 and then gets across strike 1. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Evens the count up at 2-2. Be Lucas Brown in the on-deck circle. It's 7-8-9 that Elliott faces here. This is a pop-up. Looks like it's in play. Armalt going over for it and brings it into the glove for the second out.
Entering the box for the Red Raiders, number 2, Lucas Brown.
So a quick 2 up, 2 down for Elliott. Now he gets to face the number 9 hitter in the order, Brown, who grounded out to Zarnecki at third in the third inning.
Still not sure if you already mentioned it since I was changing batteries, but first appearance of the year for Elliott, so off to a good start.
I figured it might be, considering he's wasn't even on really the roster that was the lineup card that was given. Gets a first pitch strike this time, and now it looks like it could be another ground out to Zarnecki, but it pops off of his glove.
Yeah, that turf infield, it takes some weird hops sometimes. That might not have been so much that, maybe just kind of how he got his glove down, but it was definitely a weird-looking play. So
it was a bit of a shorter ground ball. It was higher up. He had to come in for it, so I think tried to make that scoop with the glove a little faster, and it just popped out. No, top of the order comes back up. Carter Scherg takes strike one. Now Elliott out of the stretch. This is a ground ball over to Henderson. Comes off of his glove. And another misplay in the field gives Meyersdale a base runner. Should have been out number 3.
Yeah. Man, if you're Elliott out there, you're doing your job. You're getting guys to hit ground balls, but defense kind of letting you down a little bit. Obviously, Martinsburg may start to make a few changes. They've changed catchers, but the infield guys are all the same, so no real excuse to be mishandling some plays here and there.
Yeah, we hadn't mentioned that yet. It looks like Sean Reynolds behind the plate now for Martinsburg.
So Fox gets some time off after well-earned rest for him. He definitely did a good job catching. So see how Reynolds does behind the plate, but
ball one into Yoder.
You'd expect these guys defensively to be able to make some of these plays. So
Elliott with a look back at second. Now the pitch. Here's the ball, well hit, but it's going to hook foul.
I guess the positive for Elliott, not so much for him personally, but maybe for the team, is that they get to now see him pitch with some guys on, a little bit of pressure, so opposed to just a 1-2-3 inning, that doesn't show you any different looks at a guy.
Next pitch, it's going to be hit on the line right at Jameer Brown. He snags it, and the inning is over. It's another quiet, no-run inning for Meyersdale. Will take us to the bottom of the 5th, with Martinsburg leading 6-1. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with more West Virginia High School baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Our bottom of the fifth is brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. Martinsburg with a 6-1 lead here from P.O. Faulkner Park against Meyersdale Red Raiders. The Red Raiders have been quiet at the plate overall today. They were only able to get in 2 runs against Christian Alter in game 1 of this doubleheader. And 1 run so far off of Bradley Loper through 5 innings at the bat. And on the mound here we do have the pitching change that looked like was likely after seeing the action in the bullpen. Cole Yoder moves to the pitching mound. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution.
Yeah, Yoder to the mound, still waiting. Exactly. If Vaught is out of the game, if he's got a new spot, give him a new glove here for Yoder.
Looks like Votes moved to shortstop.
Yeah, he's back at short, and then Seckler or Schleckler is
moved to second.
Over at second. So he's just been Mr. Versatility today. Third, short, second.
Pitcher.
Busy day. But other than that, everything else has stayed the same. So Almont had the home run.
And he might have another one here. This is in the deep left center field. Braden Armalt is going to hit this one off the wall. And he's going to run into second base, sliding with a double. So you would have to count it. You would have to count it across both games, but he is a triple shy of the cycle on the day. Not for the one game, because he had a single in the first inning of this one.
Yeah,
rounding out. Now he's got a double at the home run in the first game.
Certainly has the power. That's been proven today already, and at least for now, they're going to let Elliott hit. Yeah, they are. And then Deeds is going to run for Armalt.
And Caleb Deeds comes out. And
Which
Elliott
could be
will
for
hit.
more speed, or it could maybe be for possible pitching change. I don't know if Armalt pitches, but it doesn't look like he's warming or anything. So just get more speed out there.
Yep.
Actually, it does look like he. Yeah, he's had
I think
at least a
you're
throw.
right. Yeah.
So
bunt attempt from Elliott off the mark.
I believe he does pitch. I think I already kind of knew that, but wasn't sure. He hasn't pitched this season, so it could be a possible change down the line. But Elliott hitting here.
0-1. Elliott tries to bunt that one again and gets fouled straight back. 0-2 here. Runner on second. No outs. 6-1 lead for Martinsburg. They've had 3 2-run innings. The first, second, and fourth to get those runs up.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how you feel about Elliott's bat, because you don't really have to bunt here. You're already up by 5. Yep. The insurance run is important, but it's not, the end of the world. So
might just be a pitcher only type,
Yeah, could be, but then
he will swing away. Well, he won't bunt, but he doesn't swing away either. He watches strike 3 go by.
At bat for the Bulldogs, number 8.
That's the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Yoder.
Yeah, good pitching there. See if Tomlinson can get on here.
Tomlinson's grounded out to shortstop both times up. He's going to swing through a big curveball for strike one to start the at-bat.
Yeah, I think Tomlinson might have been expecting something a little bit quicker, fastball possibly, but got the off-speed pitch with the curveball.
Foul ball. 0-2 count. Deeds leads off at second. Sackler holds him close, now backs off. As a swinging strike three comes in from Yoder for out number 2. That sends down Tomlinson and brings up R.J. Brown. Two straight strikeouts for Yoder after the leadoff double. Let's even get through the bottom of the order of Martinsburg. Brown almost goes through that first pitch, but breaking ball falls off the table for a ball.
And Brown's been effective in both games, getting on base, running the base as well, so definitely not an easy out.
Nope. 1-0. Brown's going to hit this one right back to Yoder. And the throw to first is well in time. And that sends down the Bulldogs. 3 straight outs after the leadoff double. Keeps our score at 6-1. We go to the 6th. Meyersdale just 6 outs to work with. Down by 5. We take a 60-second break. And we come back with more West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Move to the top of the 6th here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 from P.O. Faulkner Park. Game 2 of this doubleheader between Martinsburg and Meyersdale. It's a 6-1 lead for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Top of the 6th brought to you by Parsons Ford, 1400 Shepherdstown Road, and online at ParsonsFord.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first, Parsons. Clayton Elliott stays out on the mound for Martinsburg. After a nice first inning of work and his first appearance of the year.
Batting number 12, Aiden Thomas.
Aiden Thomas, 3-4-5 in the order for the Red Raiders comes up. But that's been relatively quiet from them so far today. Thomas 0 for 2, 2 ground outs to short, and this is not a quiet hit here, but it is on a line right to the left fielder. I believe that's a change that's been made out there, and it might be Carson Tomlinson that just made that catch. It was R.J. Brown out there. It's actually Ryan Spiker that was coming in left field.
Stepping in the box, number 17, Ryan Seckler.
Sackler comes to the plate for his third appearance, takes strike 1. 1 for 2. Grounded out to short in the second inning and had a single in his second at-bat, his last at-bat in the fourth.
Yeah, Spiker's out there in left, Alter and Green still out there in the outfield. Deeds is down there at first now. As we mentioned, Reynolds doing the catching. Zarnecki.
No, Armalt's back out there, actually.
Oh, well, sorry. Game Changer had Deeds, so. But
I think
you are right.
Deeds checked in as a pinch runner for
Yes.
Armalt, but
So.
in the way that he can still
Re-enter.
Yes, he was re-entered. Here's a line drive just over the glove of Jameer Brown in the left field. One out single for Ryan Sackler. He's got 2 base hits in the second game here.
Bat number 26, Dylan Teets.
So, yeah, the only change there is Spiker and left, and Reynolds is taking over at catcher, as we mentioned earlier in the game.
Dylan Teets, over 1 so far with a walk. Takes first pitch for a strike as he dribbles away from Reynolds. Teets came around to score on that walk. That's the only run so far for Meyersdale. His next pitch, it's low. Evens the count out, 1-1. Ainsworth on deck. Elliott the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Teets for strike 2.
Yeah, that pitch had a ton of movement. Teets was completely fooled by it. Tough pitch to handle.
Elliott from the stretch, the 1-2. Just a little low. Evens the count at 2-2. 6-1 Martinsburg here in the top of the 6th. As the sun begins to come out a little bit. Say hello for the first time today, really. Ball hit on the ground to second base. Will he try to turn 2? No, a little bit of a bobble from Henderson. His only play will be at first for the second out.
Stepping into the batter's box, number 3, Matt Hainsworth.
Sackler moves up to second, but 2 outs now for the Red Raiders. Matt Hainsworth, 1 for 2. His single came in the second inning. A couple good innings of work here for Clayton Elliott so far. Here's ball 1 outside. The single to Sackler, so far the only base runner allowed, cleanly by Elliott. Here comes ball 2. And this is second inning of work. Ball's behind Hainsworth, though, 2-0. And here comes the pitch. That gets across the zone for strike 1. Carter Vogt on deck. Nick Kimball to follow him. If the Red Raiders can get something going and keep this inning alive, this is a foul ball over top of the press box. Or on top of the press box from the sounds of it. Elliott with a look in to Reynolds behind the plate. And here he comes with the pitch. That'll be high for ball 3. Elliott with a look back at second base to Sackler. Now the pitch is going to be hit, given a drive out the left field. This is not going to be a play for Spiker. It's going to be off the wall. An easy RBI for Matt Hainsworth as he slides into second base with a double. Make it 6-2.
Yeah, for a second I thought that ball was going to leave the park and really changed, I guess, the course of the game. I mean, it still makes it now a 4-run game, but stayed in here. Really well hit ball, though.
Brings up Vogt. First pitch comes in for a strike. Ainsworth, last time he got on base, as he sits at second base now, he was thrown out at the plate. 0-1 count. Bounces for ball one. Let's make it 2 hits allowed by Elliott. 1 run. Here in the inning of 2/3 of work so far. Elliott's going to get the 1-1 across on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Vogt stands in again. Look back and throwing. Bounces. Runner going for third base. Reynolds slips as he goes to make the play. Otherwise, it might have been close. Ainsworth moves up. Count goes to 2-2. Now Elliott with the pitch. High for ball 3.
Yeah, this inning's been a little bit shaky for Elliott overall. He's been very good out there on the mound, but starting to see some good stuff here from Meyersdale.
Payoff pitch. Called strike 3 as Vogt started to jog down the first base. That will end the inning. So Meyersdale's just got 3 outs to go. They do get a run up on the board to cut the lead for Martinsburg down to 6-2. We go to the bottom of the 6th now after the 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Carter Vogt will go to the mound for his second inning of work, trying to keep his team's deficit at 6-2 as Meyersdale trails Martinsburg. Bottom of the 6th brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. Top of the order for Martinsburg. 4th time through the lineup. It'll be Christian Alter to lead off.
Yeah, Yoder in that first inning out there on the mound, 1 inning of work so far, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts for him. So he was pretty effective in relief of Vogt after we saw the start from Thomas. So Yoder has kept it to just 6 runs out there on the board for Martinsburg, and now have to face the top of the order in Christian Alter, so it could be a little bit tougher this time around.
First 2 pitches of the inning from Vogt are outside and low. 2-0 count. Yoder is able to limit Martinsburg to just a double and then 3 straight outs as the 2-0 comes across for strike 1. He was able to strike out 2 in a row. And now it's the top of the order he has to work against. 2-1 to Alter. It's going to be popped up, but it looks like it's out of play. Count will run to 2-2.
Yeah, Dylan, it was, the sun, like you said, came out. It's nice to see because It was supposed to be like 78 today, but feels like it's like 60, 55 or something. It feels pretty cold out there.
We could have just had the out there. Christian Alter hit the ball into foul territory. Ball hits off the glove of Nick Kimball out and right. So Alter stays alive now. Three and two after the pitch comes in high.
New Hampshire softball officially beats Martinsburg 15-9.
Payoff pitch. It's grounded over to shortstop and misplayed by Vogt out there at shortstop.
Yeah, Vogt's just had kind of a tough day overall.
Number 4.
Third error that I have down for Meyersdale. Brings up Grant Henderson. Got himself a single and came around to score his last at bat. A lot of the damage for Martinsburg has been done at the top of the order. See, those 2-run innings have come in the first, the second, and the fourth. Strike one comes across. Those have been the innings that have seen the top of the order at bat. The scoreless third inning started off 6, 7, 8 in the order. And so did the scoreless fifth inning. This is hit on the ground again. Vogt this time scoops it up. Gets the second for one. Throw to first is offline. It'll just be a fielder's choice in the end.
Up next, number 27,
so
showing no mercy, Jameer Brown.
you'll definitely take that if you're Meyersdale to get that lead runner, but Henderson's still able to. I guess they somehow ruled Henderson out.
Oh, they did. Maybe it was interference. So that's a double play in the end then.
Yeah, just not typically how you get it. So 2 gone.
Yeah, how about that? Ball one comes into Jameer Brown.
I for a second thought maybe they had a courtesy runner for him, but no. It was just he was ruled out.
Yeah. So I guess that means 2 outs in the inning.
It does.
All right. Brown comes up, and the 1-1 is low and outside. Gets at the backstop. Brown, last time around, got himself an RBI sacrifice fly on a well-hit ball to left field that Lucas Brown was able to bring in. 2-1 pitch, foul tipped into the glove for strike 2.
Yeah, and overall, I think Martinsburg's got to be pretty happy with their offensive production today. Even though, like you said, Game 2 not as much balance as Game 1, but still, you're getting guys on. I mean, they only had 5 hits in Game 1, but it felt like a little bit more balance throughout the lineup.
2-2 fouled away by Brown. Brown on the day has himself a single as well. He's reached base or driven in a run every single time, and it doesn't look like that trend is going to continue as this is softly hit to third base. Throw to Thomas is made for the third out. So it ends up a quick inning in the end. Christian Alter gets on with a leadoff error, but still 3 batters up, 3 batters down in the end for Martinsburg. We'll go to the top of the 7th, where the Bulldogs can close it out with this 6-2 lead. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with it. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Number 20, Steven
Kaufman.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
7th inning, brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution, located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. They are also our sponsor for our calls to the bullpen. Martinsburg makes one last one, they hope. We go into the top of the 7th. They lead 6-2 over Meyersdale, and Stephen Kaufman comes to the mound here to try to close out this doubleheader with 2 wins for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Kaufman's only thrown 1 inning so far on the year. He did give up 3 hits in that 1 inning, 1 earned run, 1 walk as well, and a strikeout. So, yeah, the number's a little bit inflated there. But he got himself out of a jam eventually, leaving 3 runners on base, so that was good to see. We'll see. It's tough to really say anything about Kaufman since he's only thrown that 1 inning, but again, it's tough to, or I guess in this situation, you're up by 4. You can see if he can pitch well for you and give you another guy that you can use in this rotation or as a bullpen arm. So that's always important to have as many pitchers as possible.
Nick Kimball steps in. Popped up to first base last time. Takes the ball here, 1-1.
But overall today, Meyersdale's lineup has struggled. So for Kaufman, it's a great opportunity, I think, to build some confidence.
Check swing, but in for strike 2. Kimball's first at-bat was an RBI single, which until last time around for Meyersdale was their only run, as this one's fouled away. One-two count. Meyersdale down to their last 3 outs. Here's a pitch from Kaufman. Swing and a miss. Kaufman starts off with a strikeout. It's the 7th time that Meyersdale has struck out here so far today.
19 strikeouts between the 2 games. So Martinsburg's pitching has definitely been on point here today with Christian Alter. Just an unbelievable performance at him, really, with the 12 strikeouts, and then it's carried over into Loper and Elliott and now Kaufman. So overall, I think a lot of good things today for Martinsburg against this Meyersdale team, and should be able to move now to 6 wins on the year, 6-3.
Ball 1 off the mark to pinch hitter. Landon Ludy. Next pitch from Kaufman. A little outside for ball 2. It's a pinch hitter in the 9 spot for Lucas Brown, who had gone with a ground out and then reached base on an error. A swing from Ludy that hits off of him. I think it hit him in the arm as he swung. It's a foul ball. He has to shake that one off.
Martinsburg back in action on Tuesday against Jefferson here at home. And then they'll have Spring Mills on Friday. chance to pick up some games. Kind of crazy they're already going to play like Spring Mills for the second time at this point in the year, Jefferson for the first time. But that's kind of how this high school baseball season goes. I mean, it's a short, quick season, I guess is how they always, or it's a long, quick season is how they always describe it. Meaning you play a lot of games in a very short amount of time. So, well, it may seem kind of early considering they just played.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner.
They just played Spring Mills on the 21st.
Next up for the Red Raiders, number
It's going to
5,
be, for Martinsburg at least, 7 games in between, or 8 games in between those meetings.
Ball 1 comes in to Carter Scherg at the top of the order. Popped up, but fouling out of play. 1-1. Kaufman gets strike 2 across. Here's a liner into right field for a base hit. So Scherg won't let Meyersdale go down quietly. But they would have a lot of work to do here with 2 outs against Kaufman. Cole Yoder stands in. He's going to hit this one on a line in the center field. Alter over his outstretched glove. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Scherg is going to come around and score. This is going to be a triple and an RBI for Cole Yoder. So with just 1 out to work with, Meyersdale cuts their deficit down to 6-3.
Yeah, they're not good now without a fight, and probably some missed opportunities in that first game for Meyersdale to possibly put them away. Ultimately, you get the big home run from Martinsburg that propels them to victory. But here in game 2, it's pretty much been all Martinsburg. They kind of carried over that momentum, but here late, Meyersdale still showing fight.
One 0 count to start out here to Aiden Thomas. He will foul off this one over towards the third base dugout. One and one here with 2 outs. That will catch the outside corner. Strike 2. Now the 1-2 from Kaufman. Swing and miss, strike 3, and that is the ball game. Kaufman gets all 3 of his outs on strikeouts to end this one. Martinsburg gets the win, 6-3 over Meyersdale, and sweeps the doubleheader. Impressive wins for Martinsburg. So with that, we can go ahead and take our 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll go into the postgame show. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory.
I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack. Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory.
I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack. now and save at Orsini's today.
You've been in an accident. A distracted driver put texting over safety. Your injuries, loss of income, and medical bills can last a long time, even a lifetime. Our job is to try and secure justice that will protect you and your family for the rest of your life. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Welcome into the Palace Lounge postgame show. Brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Martinsburg gets the win, 6-3 here in the second game of this doubleheader. Started off with Martinsburg getting 2 runs immediately in the bottom of the first off of RBI singles from Jameer Brown, or I should say from Malachi Green, after Grant Henderson came in on a wild pitch after being hit by a pitch in the first inning. Then Martinsburg gave up a run in the top of the second to cut the deficit for Meyersdale down from 2-0 to 2-1. And then Martinsburg comes back with 2 in the bottom of the second, then 2 in the bottom of the fourth, make it 6-1. And that's where they held off in terms of runs. Meyersdale comes back with a couple runs in the 6th and the 7th, 1 each, to make it 6-3 in the end, but Martinsburg's able to close out the deal. Game scoring summary brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com. Bradley Loper gets the start, goes 4 innings, gives up 1 run on 3 hits and 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for him. Clayton Elliott goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits and a run, and gets 1 strikeout. Stephen Kaufman gives up 2 hits and a run, but gets 3 strikeouts. Close it out there. RBIs on the day for Martinsburg from Jameer Brown, Malachi Green. Runs scored by Grant Henderson and Christian Alter. And we'll go ahead and bring in Braden Armolt here. Our player of the game from Game 1 hit the 3-run home run to give Martinsburg the lead in the bottom of the 6th and then let his team just go out and get those last 3 outs. Braden, what did you see on that pitch in particular?
Yeah, it was, he gave me a perfect pitch middle, and, I knew we had that big opportunity to score 2, and, I just did it.
And on the day, you guys get the 2 wins in the 2 games here. What's that mean for you guys to come out here? And you guys have been kind of around 500 here to be able to now come out here. You're 6-3 now going into the next week.
I mean, definitely it's big, man. It's big, People's eyes are definitely opening up. But, yeah, it's a big week, big win for us.
Yep, and you got some good pitching out there today from Loper in this game, and then the relievers that came in, and then Christian Alter in that first game. He's able to have a huge game for you guys, 12 strikeouts, and it goes the distance. Yeah. So what's that mean for you out in the field? I mean, it's coming at the plate.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. He keeps on doing that. It's going to be great for us this year. He's really solid. definitely doing great.
All right, and overall, just how you felt about today and how you feel, guys moving forward, what you think you guys need to improve on, and what you think you guys are doing really well at this point.
I definitely think we're having some good at-bats, the only bad thing, I think we're just a little, like Coach was saying, our effort isn't there 100% of the time. So if we get that there, then we'll be pretty good for the rest of the year.
All right, Braden, congrats.
Yes,
you're player of the game for game 1 there.
Thank you.
Great home run for you there, and you guys get the win, so
Yep.
congrats on those.
Thank you, guys.
And he'll hand it off to Coach Byler. Coach, 2 wins for you guys here. Let's talk a little bit about this second game here. You bring Bradley Loper out there to start it. He goes 4 innings for you, only gives up 1 run, strikes out 5, and then you get some less experienced pitchers overall here for the game in general, and especially Elliott and Kaufman coming in there at the end. What do you think of their performances?
No, I think they all 3 did great, and Christian Alter did great in game 1. The game plan here today was we have to build a little depth. We've kind of been surviving on Jameer and Grant and Christian, and Brad's a guy that's going to have to throw big innings for us down the stretch, and I thought he threw really well. We got him out about 62 pitches. I think, that's probably the most he's went all year. And, kudos to Clayton there, a freshman coming in, throwing strikes, and Steven did a good job. So I'm proud of the way they pitched today. I thought they battled and threw strikes. We didn't walk a whole lot of guys, so that's pretty impressive.
And then, in game 2 here, you guys were able to open it up a little more in terms of getting runs up on the board. And just overall today, it came pretty late in game 1, but you were able to get that huge hit from Braden Armolt there to put you guys over the top. So how'd you feel about the way that you guys in game 1 in particular that you were able to eventually get those runs in?
Game 1 I was nervous, and it's an excuse, but I think the game 2 pitcher was a little closer to some of the velocity we see every day. You know what I mean? So, but give credit to the game 1 guy. He threw strikes and kept us off balance, and we were out on our front foot and not doing things the right way. And if Molt doesn't get that home run, we probably lose. But good teams find a way to win, and we're trying to be a good team. We're trying to take the steps in the right direction every day to be a good team, and we got a long way to go. But if you'd be 4-0 and win the week, that's a really good week for us, and to get to 6-3, where we were, happy with that.
Yeah, how'd you feel about the depth? I mentioned the pitchers that got some more time up on the mound, and that for their first appearances here, like the freshman that you said. And some other guys like Reynolds getting in behind the plate and just moving things around a little bit. How'd you feel about the depth here today?
Yeah, those guys are guys that work hard every day in practice and know they're an injury away from being in. So it's good to get them in and see them compete at the highest level and do well. I thought they did really well. And, I think good baseball teams have depth. So we're trying to develop depth not only in the mound but in the field and at the plate. I thought Carson Tomlinson in DH role did a good job, and I thought Caleb Deeds in a DH role or in a starting role earlier did a good job. So, we're just trying to build depth all the way around and get better every day and all those things.
Yep. And just any closing thoughts, anything that I haven't brought up here that you were impressed with here today?
Nope, just glad to get out of the week 4-0 and be 6-3 and check 1 week off and keep moving forward. So I appreciate you guys for being here.
Yep. All right, Coach. Thanks for the time. Congrats on the wins. And that's our player of the game, Braden Armolt, for game 1. We'll get Nick's pick for player of the game for game 2 here. As I went through some of these statistics here, read off some of the pitching stats. Some guys that had RBIs. Game stats were brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships, proud to be the owners who just care more. Your player of the game is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road, online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons, Nick, we can get your closing thoughts on the game and your player of the game after we talk to Braden Armolt, the player of the game for game 1.
Yeah, I'll go Loper for game 2. Just kind of setting the tone with 4 strong innings, 5 strikeouts, but it's tough. I could lean toward Christian Alter as well if you
the run scoring was pretty spread out there in game 2, so I think that's fair to go with the pitcher there. Even though we only went 4 innings, it was a strong 4 innings.
Yeah, and it kind of set the tone and continued the success that Alter had in game 1 on the mound. But Yeah, I think today was solid. I mean, for Martinsburg, a lot of positives. Meyersdale, they seem like a decent team, probably not quite on the same level as some of the teams you'll see in the EPAC this year, but it's progress, and this team's getting better, and they're building their confidence at the plate. They look a little bit more comfortable out there. So Jefferson's going to be tough on Tuesday. We know how good they are. Spring Mills will be tough again on Friday for them, and Saturday it's a doubleheader against East Hardy, who's always a solid team that's getting better since we saw them, really where they were a few years ago, which was a 27-2 game. And then we saw how good East Hardy had gotten last year, so I expect them to be pretty good again this year. And yeah, I'm excited for this week of baseball for Martinsburg and see the development of the team. And overall, 4 straight wins, so you can't be complaining about that.
Yeah, there you go. So that'll do it for us here from P.O. Faulkner Park. As Nick mentioned, that Jefferson game will be our next game. They're on Tuesday night from P.O. Faulkner, 7 o'clock first pitch. See the Cougars come here to take on the Bulldogs. For Alec Epperson back at the studio, for Kyler High behind the cameras, and Nick Verzolini next to me, I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long here from P.O. Faulkner Park. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Hope you have a great rest of your Saturday.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.